Son Gohan, the son of Goku, our first hybrid Saiyan in the series, and probably one of the most complex characters in Dragon Ball history. Some may even say the best character, but I think that title might belong to someone else. But nonetheless, Gohan is very much considered a top tier character. So top tier that he might even be more relatable than we might think. If you know all about Dragon Ball, then you know about Gohan's character. Gohan is not a fighter. He was never born a fighter. He was born into a normal life, raised like a normal child, alongside with a mom and dad, along with being homeschooled and actually doing homework. His life started out much more normally than what Goku and Vegeta and pretty much anyone else really had to go through. And on that aspect of Gohan's character, we can actually relate to him a lot. With Goku, he was pretty much living on his own outside of society at the start of Dragon Ball. And that was the time when he was young. Goku never really grew up with other people in life other than Grandpa Gohan. But all that pretty much changed when he met Bulma. Bulma pretty much helped expose Goku to more of the world and society. But at the end of the day, he's still not a normal person, and he still never really grew accustomed to society because of being isolated for so long in his childhood, and because he's just Goku. Now, when we talk about Vegeta, let me get one thing straight. Vegeta is not a normal person. Now, you can definitely relate with Vegeta and Goku, with their ambitions and their pride that they have, but their lives are nowhere near as normal as yours or Gohan's. Vegeta is someone that lives with a dark past. Vegeta literally used to be a mass murderer under the name of Frieza. I'm pretty sure the guy has caused mass extinctions of alien races out there. Most of them probably innocent. And I hope none of you guys really relate to Vegeta on this one, because I would be quite worried if you guys were. Vegeta is someone that has skeletons in his closet. A lot of skeletons. And later on in the story of Dragon Ball, he does his best to atone and make up for all the things he's done. Whether it be sacrificing his life in the battle with Boo, or saving Namekians from Moro, the same kind of people that he brutally murdered just for some Dragon Balls. Vegeta is not really a relatable person because of all the heinous things he has done, which would probably label him as a killer. But he pretty much makes up for it for the actions that he takes as the story progresses. Vegeta is not someone we should wanna be, but yet Vegeta is the best character in Dragon Ball, because he is much more different than us normal people, and pretty much everyone else in the series. And that is why Vegeta is the most interesting character. And ultimately, Vegeta should be someone that we are inspired by, not become him. I wanted to talk about Goku and Vegeta for a little bit because they are characters that we can't really relate to. Their life experiences are just not that normal compared to mine or yours, which can probably be considered unhuman. Which, I mean, they are aliens after all. And when we talk about Gohan, I do believe that Gohan is the most human out of everyone. You could also say that Krillin is probably the most human out of everyone too. I'd argue that Krillin and Gohan are probably on the same wavelength here. Aside from dealing with universal threats here and there, both characters currently have a normal life at the moment. They both have a wife, a kid, a family, and they both have pretty much a normal job. Sounds like a pretty normal life to me. But what makes Gohan different from Krillin is that he is pushed around by expectations. And you see it pretty much throughout the whole series. Gohan was expected to be the strongest of the Z fighters, which I mean Gohan definitely really is at this point, but that's not really what Gohan wants to be. Gohan is not a fighter. Gohan never enjoyed fighting, since if you really think about it, he's only experienced more of the bad than the good from fighting, but he will fight when he has to, when other lives are at stake. During the Cell Saga, Gohan was getting absolutely whooped by Cell, and everyone else on the sidelines were just watching, or at least they had no other choice but to watch. Goku in particular was pretty much the cause of this, as he really believed that Gohan could actually beat Cell, and Gohan was even doubting his father's trust in him. And when things were looking bad for Gohan, Piccolo had to lay it on Goku that Gohan is just not built to be a fighter.
Enough of this game, Goku. You're wrong about your son. Gohan may have that power, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't thirst for battle and mayhem. He's not a fighter like you. Huh? Do you want to know what he's thinking? He's not thinking about strength or about competition. He's wondering why his father is standing there, letting him die. And so your son may be the most powerful person in the world, but he's also a scared 11-year-old boy.
Piccolo had always known that Gohan was never a fighter. Piccolo has seen the experiences that Gohan has had to go through. Gohan's first experience of fighting was with Raditz, and when Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth, and he literally witnessed all his friends dying during the fights with Nappa. Also, not to mention him learning about his dad dying during the fight with Raditz, which Gohan was kidnapped again after that by Piccolo and was forced to train by Piccolo, and Piccolo was not the nicest guy at the time. With all these experiences of Gohan involved with fighting, it's definitely traumatized him in one way or another. You can clearly see it by the beginning of the Buu saga when Gohan's pretty much grown up. You can see that Gohan's still coping with all the things he's been through in his life. Whether that be through his Great Saiyaman phase, not wanting to train and focus on his studies more, or just simply being normal, living out his life, just being himself. And this is all because Gohan never really got a chance to be himself. He honestly did not have a lot of time to really spend time with himself and figure out who he really is. And if you really think about it, in the time span from the Saiyan saga to the Cell saga, Gohan really doesn't get a break. Most of that time was probably preparing for the next big threat that was just around the corner. And sure, Gohan has probably had some breaks here and there during all that time, but I'd say he never had enough time to just sit back and relax and not really worry about anything. The 7 years of peace after the Cell saga was what Gohan has always wanted. Now, let me jump to future Gohan. Future Gohan is a perfect representation of Gohan's character. And why do I say this? Well, let's think about that real quick. Throughout Gohan's time spent on fighting the androids, you would honestly think that Gohan would be able to beat him by now, but yet he's still struggling with them. And I think if Gohan had swapped places with someone with a little more passion in fighting, I think that they definitely could have beaten the androids. Like Goku, for example. Goku loves fighting. Goku has the talent for fighting. Fighting is what Goku excels at, and that's the complete opposite of what Gohan is. Deep down, Gohan is still a kid at heart, which can definitely hold him back from being a Goku or Vegeta tier fighter, but that just makes Gohan that much more human and more relatable. And just to be clear with you guys, I'm not saying Gohan is weak. Gohan is a top tier fighter. I'm not gonna argue with you guys on that one. Gohan's built different, man. What I'm saying here is that Gohan does not have the mindset that Goku does, which it really does hold back Gohan's full potential. And because of that, that doesn't really make Gohan a bad character. It makes Gohan more of a relatable character. Which brings us back to the topic of this video, why Gohan is so relatable to us. Well, that's because everyone has high expectations of Gohan. Gohan has the potential to be the strongest fighter in all of Dragon Ball. That's pretty much what all the Z fighters thought whenever Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. But yet, that's not what Gohan really wants to do, despite people having high expectations of him. And you know who else people have high expectations of? You. Yes, you. But not just you, it's also me. I bet that there was a point in our lives where people had high expectations for us, probably wanting us to be something more, something special. And I think everyone's already special in their own way. But that doesn't mean to stop trying to better yourself though. Always keep trying to be a better you, because that's what Gohan did. Despite the expectations that are put onto him, he's still trying his best to be the better version of himself. And yeah, I think that's all I gotta talk about for this video. I just wanted to talk about Gohan because he is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. It's also been a while since I've uploaded, so I just had that itch to just talk about something. And I think that's it for this video. And so yeah, I think I'll see you all in the next one.